Hi, welcome to this week's brief book review. The book we're looking at today is called The Bullet That Missed by author Richard Osman. Richard Osman, well known in the UK for being a presenter, producer, novelist, comedian, and this is the third book that Richard has written in the Thursday Murder Club series. This book was released on the 15th of September as hardback in the UK and was a much awaited book. As I said, it's the third one in the series. The first two books were called, the first one was called The Thursday Murder Club. The second one was called The Man Who Died Twice. So this is the third episode of the Thursday Murder Club adventures, and it's called, as I said, The Bullet That Missed. So for the uninitiated, what's the Thursday Murder Club? Well, the Thursday Murder Club is the story of four people who live in a retirement community. It's quite a different spin on the usual murder mystery where the protagonists tend to be younger men and women. In this case, the four people who comprise the Thursday Murder Club are retirees, they're pensioners. They live in a place called Cooper's Chase, which is a retirement community in southern England. And the four members of the Thursday Murder Club consist of Elizabeth, who is a former MI6 agent. Well, I guess you're never quite a former MI6 agent. Ron, a former trade union activist. Joyce, former nurse, and Ibrahim, a former and sometimes practicing psychiatrist. The four of them meet on a Thursday afternoon in the jigsaw room of the facility where they live and look at cold cases. Elizabeth, with her experience, they look at in spookery, for want of a better term. They look at cold cases and they investigate cold cases. Hence the name, the Thursday Murder Club. They meet on a Thursday. They review cold cases. The previous two books have included, stories of cold cases, which very soon turned out to be hot cases. And this story, The Bullet That Missed, is no exception. So the gang are back together again. Elizabeth, Ron, Joyce and Ibrahim are looking at a case of a lady who worked for a local TV station. Her name was, he says, checking his notes, Bethany Waits, who was a local TV station reporter. Bethany was hot on the trail of a major fraud case, a fraud case involving VAT. For those not in the UK, VAT is a sales tax, value-added tax, and there were massive frauds going on a few years back, where people were importing and exporting mobile phones, reclaiming the VAT element from the government, from the taxman, when in fact there were no mobile phones. This was just a figment of the imagination. So Bethany's on the cusp of blowing this case wide open. And suddenly Bethany's car goes off Shakespeare Cliff. There's no body found, and the authorities say, well, that's not unusual. The bodies get washed out to sea. But there's some lingering doubts amongst particularly the Thursday Murder Club, because Bethany appeared to disappear just before the car went off the cliff, and there's no trace of her movements. And also they want to know why was there no body found? Is this legit? And was Bethany really on the cusp of blowing a major fraud case open? In which case, was she in danger because of the fraud case? So the Thursday Murder Club get to work on sorting out the cold case involving Bethany. But in the meantime, there's another problem. A mysterious person called the Viking is leaning on Elizabeth, wants Elizabeth to do some killing for him. Elizabeth is faced with the choice of kill or be killed. So apart from the cold case, we've got Elizabeth under threat from a new foe. We have some other Thursday Murder Club regulars involved, the Donna and Chris, the local police, Bogdan, who is jack of all trades and appears to be master of most of them. And again, it's a rattling good story. It's a quintessentially British book. Lots of humorous quips and quotes during the book. An easy to read book and a very well written book. This is the third book. I think perhaps the first book, The Thursday Murder Club, was slightly overhyped, but without doubt that Richard Osman has hit his stride. And I've read all three books, and this is by far and away the best of the three so far. So it's a good read. It's a good mystery. You need to know what happened to the cold case involving Bethany. There's also this side tale involving the Viking and his nefarious plans. All in all, another well-written book, a mystery that you want to keep on reading. I read it in 2 sessions. It's 400 pages, and inside the back of the book it tells us to look out for episode 4 of the Thursday Murder Club. So clearly there's another one on the way. I really enjoyed this book. It's smart, it's witty, clever, well worth a read. I'd give it 8 out of 10. And that's it for today's brief book review. Once again, 8 out of 10. Go get it from your local bookshop or online. 10/10 till we do it again. Thank you.